Hey, nice to see you've recovered. It's been a while since we last spoke. For some time, I was not myself. Lucy and the others told me what happened that night and about the events that took place while we were receiving treatment. It was only then I realized the lengths you and yours go to. I know I might never be able to repay you, but I'll be damned if I don't try. Most of all, I want to thank you, all of you, for everything you've done and continue to do for the sake of my people. Hey, friend request accepted! Yes, I did. Yeah, Lina and Reen at the very least. Lina and Bedwick both warned me against exerting myself. Strange that they would express such similar sentiments, identical in fact, but their advice is duly noted.
In uncertain times, naught but the simplest words of wisdom will suffice. That which lives is destined to die. Love leads to loss. Every beginning has an end. Treasure every moment, every step of your descent.
Alright. To see Xena standing there so uncaring and unrepentant, gods, I don't know what came over me. I just blurted out the first thing that came to mind, but looking back on it, I stand by those words. I do too. Good job. I would say I hope they won't incite him to further villainy, but to be honest, I don't doubt he even remembers what I said. Anyway, enough about that. It's good to see you again. Hi! So I know where to go. And boy, are we gonna rack up some flyer miles.
I take it that I'm addressing Lucia Junius. I'm the Forum's envoy, Fortuneau Leveilleur. And you are owed an explanation for these most dire developments.
In any case, Maxima leads the remainder of the contingent in an effort to cull the creatures and evacuate the populace as we speak. Once the airships are taken to the skies, I pray your men can be persuaded to join him.
You'll permit us to retain our weapons?
You've proven
I wouldn't
yourself.
have sent you after the Scions were I expecting you to stab them in the back.
Regardless of the circumstances that saw us at odds before, we need men of courage now, more than ever.
He's like, what? Really? The buffoon is flummoxed.
A moment, Master Fortuneau. You did desire to express your appreciation for services rendered, did you not?
I did. Though if you intend to again ask that Sharlayan alter its course, you will find my gratitude insufficient.
Don't worry, my dad's cell phone will serve as proper answer.
'Tis nothing so onerous. I wish to hear the details of this grand endeavor of yours.
Yes, this mystery ship.
Do you swear to listen and to learn, and not to embark upon some scheme to impede us?
Hell, if anything, but we might want to help you.
I swear.
Unless, of course, you're turning people into ships or something like that.
Any other, I would doubt. But you, I trust to keep your word. For not once have you broken it. Very well. I will request that the Forum make you privy to our plans. You may await our summons at the Baldessian Annex, assuming the decision is in your favor. Does that suffice?
I'll get the Archon, though.
It does. You have my thanks. Excellent. You can regale us with tales of your most recent sojourn to the First while we wait.
Oh, guys, you're not gonna believe this. There was a dog.
Did you hear something just now?
Bunny? Zombie bunny? No, I'm not putting away.
Where is this star's blasted pudding?
Just round the bend. Bunnies! Poor bunny. Okay, I understand why he chose pudding.
May banish even the
Ah.
darkest night,
Hey, Oriange.
and to this bitter clime bring warmth and comfort.
What's up?
'Tis heartening to see such an assembly upon my return. I thought often of you whilst I looked down upon our star's brilliance from the moon above.
Yes, but what are you doing here? And dressed like that? Aren't you cold?
Verily, I fear for my health should I proceed to expound upon our purpose ere I procure more suitable.
Yes, I f***ed him out and learned what for.
Then allow me to summarize. We're here because none of you lot are up there. Nor has anyone deigned to send word about any changes in the plans.
There hasn't been any.
It's rude, is what it is. At least that's what I thought at first, but then folks got to wondering if you weren't in a spot of bother, so we decided to take matters into our own hands. Come down here and help, if our help be needed.
Cool.
So she says, but it's also something of a convenient excuse to visit Etheris. Oriange made it sound absolutely marvelous. More so before the impending doom, but still. And it's not like there will ever be a better time. What with the aforementioned doom?
Yes, that's cute.
Marvelous,
Do.
they say, yet not an ounce of pudding to be found. I will suffer Oriange's inferior works no more.
Poor pudding queen.
Hey! Maybe consider the plight of present company before you go blathering on about pudding and doom?
You've all been blathering about doom. Just look at
I was saying, should you require any assistance with whatever, we are at your disposal.
Hey Fortuno, would you like some minions?
We were born from Heidelin's love for the lives of this star, so naturally we would much prefer to see them continue. Twiddling our thumbs up on the moon is hardly conducive to that, though, is it? Not when you've all got such precious thoughts and feelings and hopes for the future deserving of more active preservation. Speaking to Oriange made us realize that while we've carried out our duties to the letter, we've failed to fulfill them in spirit. From there, it was just a hop, skip, and a jump towards resolving to do better. So please, show us how. Help us help you.
Forgive me, but are they...
Your friends.
Thy distant collaborators, indeed.
Hail, fellow, well met. You'd be a member of the Forum, would you? It's an honor and a pleasure to meet you at last.
Might I recommend coming?
I'm Livingway, Heidelin's right paw. That last bit is very important. As am I, if I may humbly say so myself.
I, bid you welcome to our star, Livingway. On behalf of the Forum, I thank you for traveling such a distance to meet us. As you have surmised, preparations for the Exodus have not proceeded as smoothly as we had hoped. I should be happy to personally escort you to our headquarters in Sharlayan, where you may advise us as you deem fit.
Okay,
Was with
sorry.
reluctance that I set aside the great work of readying the moon for habitation. Be assured that I did so only after the Loperids made plain their earnest desire to come hither, and I myself felt a growing certainty that their contributions here would prove invaluable. That is trite, perhaps, but I followed my heart.
Good man. That was tongue-in-cheek. Oh my god. I must say, it's good to have a few back.
For a time, at least.
Oh, he didn't
Nevertheless,
say anything.
it was worth the journey to find present company well. Wilt thou attend us at the Forum and lend thine own wisdom?
If that's all quite settled, can we start moving before Urianger catches his death? Even I'm freezing out here.
Okay, it's gonna be a damn
Oh, I
popsicle.
dare say you'll warm up quickly once you're aboard the airship. Sat shoulder to shoulder with our fur-covered friends.
Fluffy. We should probably round that one up, though. Why are you called Puddingway? I really like pudding. I mean, shrug? Ah yes, let's go to a place actively snowing. An improvement. I'm just more excited that, like, I finally get to go to the second half of Labyrinthos, I assume. And more importantly, get flying in there, because, Not that I'm complaining, Urianger, but I wasn't expecting to see you quite so soon. Nor I thee. In extolling the virtues of Aetherius, I did inadvertently awaken in the Loperids a desire to avert our beloved star's demise. Corral tells us you've obtained new information that may aid us on our ongoing efforts. I'm news to share regarding our own study of the Ethereal Sea, but your findings are certain to be of greater interest, so I'd rather hear them first. To what revelations did Hydaelyn's Elpis flower lead? Oh boy. Then this Dynamis is what drives the final days. If it and Akasa are one and the same, this all but proves Daytona's theory. We're an entity through sheer force of emotion to channel this vast dormant reservoir into a raging river. Its power might suppress even that of Aether. But if our star is so replete with Aether, said entity would need to be outside its influence to effectively manipulate the dynamics of its great expanse. Etion. Or rather, the sorrow and suffering of fallen civilizations that she had been hoarding for millennia. Untold anguish and fear and hatred drawn from every corner of the universe, all for a single purpose, the destruction of Aetherius. Then our foe is no longer some unknowable calamity. We have but one aim, to defeat Etion. You make it sound so simple, but you're not wrong. Vanquish Etion and we deliver the world from the final days, but to even attempt it, there are two conditions. First, we must determine her location. Before Etion escaped, an enchantment was placed upon her by Venat, the woman who would become Hydaelyn. The implications of temporal magics are not entirely understood, and so we cannot assume that our Hydaelyn and the Venat you met in Elpis are one and the same. Nevertheless, due to her intrinsic qualities as an all-powerful being, I'd wager that Hydaelyn possesses the knowledge we seek. Whether she would share that knowledge with us, however, remains to be seen. After all, she intends for us to flee Aetherius, not stay. Do you suppose she has abandoned her pursuit of Etion? The Venat I know would never give up. That's my impression too, otherwise she wouldn't have used me as a conduit for her will or provided clues such as the Elpis flower. I believe she has been waiting for mankind's answer to Hermes' question. So, what's the second condition? Getting there! We must find a means to reach Etion. Naturally, our chosen method will depend entirely upon wheresoever she has made her nest. Then, communing with Hydaelyn must by necessity come first. Did you, Master Matoya, have any luck in your investigation to the Ethereal Sea? Sadly, not. Though we enlisted the help of Erlenwald and other Echoblessed allies, we couldn't detect so much as a whisper from Hydaelyn, even from within the anti-tower. Master Matoy is the opinion that in the years since abandoning it, the Forum has found some other method of receiving instructions from Heidelin. If so, it would most likely be some form of apparatus for observing the ethereal sea, built closer to home. I'm guessing that's the second half of our run for us. Or dungeon. Sorry to interrupt, but we've just received word from the Forum. Your presence is required in the Russia where they intend to disrupt the Great Exodus. Then Father was able to persuade them. They're finally taking us seriously. Let's hear what they have to say. The course entry will be only permitted on the condition you leave your armaments at the door, unless you forget the second institution holds rational discord in the highest. Do you see a weapon on me? Now you do. And now you don't. And now you do. Now you don't. What wonders this button has. Hi, it's nice to be here, not on trial this time.
There is a matter I wish to raise with you before we enter.
Yes.
We are here to listen and to learn. But if the Forum's plans are more or less what I expect, then I should like to make a proposal that will serve our ends. By your leave, of course.
What is the proposal?
I don't see why not. Your words and wits have gotten us this far. Agreed. I will present our queries so that you may consider the most advantageous way to advance your proposal without distraction.
Thank you, everyone.
Alright, I mean, I trust you, but nonetheless.
On behalf of the Forum, I commend your heroic actions on the Magna Glaciers. We shall not soon forget your service to us and the people of Radzat-Han. The Satrap, whom we have informed of the refugees' new arrangements, sings your praises as well. As an expression of our gratitude, we will endeavor to answer your questions as fully and openly as we are able.
Then let us begin. First, it is the Forum's objective to ferry the life and knowledge of this star to the moon. Am I correct?
You are. It is for this purpose that Sharlayan has labored these many long years. We have collected biological samples and scientific records from across the star. When the time comes, they will be moved from their places in Labyrinthos and Numenon and conveyed to safety. Once that critical task has been accomplished, we will begin transporting the Sharlayan citizenry, which has been categorized into groups. The earliest arrivals are to ensure hospitable environs for those who come after. Following our people, we will send those of other nations in turn, beginning with our allies. Radzat-Han was foremost among these, but since the final days have already come to Thavnair, we saw fit to include the refugees with earlier groupings.
An ambitious plan. You have accounted for the safety of all nations and tribes, then?
As many as we can.
And how, pray tell, do you decide who to leave behind?
To journey beyond the sky is an unprecedented and immeasurably difficult endeavor. Introducing sources of inevitable conflict would condemn all to certain death.
Questions as to the validity of that approach aside, are your plans proceeding apace? We're under the impression that your primary means of celestial transportation is incomplete.
If only in that it does not meet our optimal parameters, that is correct.
So it's functional.
This arc, as some have taken to calling it, is fully operational and could be launched even today. However, the final days have progressed more quickly than we anticipated. At present, the ship is incapable of attaining speeds sufficient to meet our evacuation targets. Should we put the vessel into service, as it is now, we will be unable to travel to the moon and back quickly enough to complete the necessary number of trips. Precious lives and knowledge will be lost.
Seven hells. Is there anything to be done?
The ether burner, the primary means of propulsion once the craft is in the space between stars, is undergoing testing to determine whether it can be made more efficient. Though cargo is being loaded for the initial phase of the Exodus, we are prepared to continue our experimentation up to the day before launch, should it prove necessary.
What if the Scions were to solve your problem? We shall help devise a means to improve the ether burner's efficiency, on 2 conditions. If we succeed, you must allow us to meet with Hydaelyn.
"'Twas simple enough to deduce. You have a Concord, and so you would never have abandoned the anti-tower had you no other means of communication. One far more convenient, I suspect.
The second condition, also to be met upon our success, is that we be permitted to propose another use for your Ark.
We would be at liberty to refuse this proposal.
Of course. If we cannot prove its merit to the 99 here, who are we to stake on it the lives of all peoples of this star?
Delightful as always, Master Alfino. Oh, we couldn't have asked for a finer plan. Allow us to solve this complex engineering problem of which we were entirely unaware until moments ago. What could possibly go wrong? The satire writes itself.
Hey now, don't take my job from me.
Yet, what field has not benefited from a change in perspective? When we are at wit's end, what we need is not the same dry theories recited ad nauseam, but fresh inspiration.
Listen, I have a perfect idea. I propose punching it.
I, for one, have faith in my erstwhile students to provide it, and I find their terms to be perfectly acceptable.
Order! Order! We have no time to waste on debate. I call a vote. All in favor of agreeing to the Scions' terms?
Well, considering you don't even know what the full terms of the second one is, but hey.
"71 in favor, 28 against. The ayes have it.
Wow, 28.
Fortuneau, as the architect of this project, you are the best candidate to show them its current state. And bear in mind that regardless of your personal misgivings, this is the will of the Forum.
Very well.
No need to twist his arm. I think we're all on the same page for once.
I call this session to a close. Return to your tasks with urgency. The final days wait for none.